Hi. Robert McNamara once made a comment that for years I thought was brilliant until recently. And that comment was, never answer the question that was asked, answer the question that should have been asked. Now, from a control point, that's a brilliant statement, but it's also extremely arrogant. Now, think about this. Robert McNamara was the Secretary of Defense underneath Kennedy and Johnson. He basically was the architect of the Vietnam War, one of the whiz kids in the 1960s. He also ended up heading the World Bank, and I believe he's still alive. He is one person I'd like to sit down and talk to one day. But going back to the statement, never answer the question that was asked, answer the question that should have been asked. Well, see, there's a problem, because that McNamaraism has been taught for now a couple of generations in schools. And I'm talking about colleges and universities for political science. So we have now a litany of professional politicians that don't answer the question that was asked. They answer the question that they think you should have asked, which means they're answering a question that suits their agenda, not ours. Have you ever sat there and watched an interview and watched a politician answer what they want to say over and over and over as in a prepared statement? They never answer the question. Doesn't it get annoying? Doesn't it make you angry? Or do you even care? You see, I've said before, apathy will be the fall of our nation. It will cause the fall of our nation. Because you don't care, as long as it doesn't affect you. Well, the problem about it is, it does affect you. You just don't recognize it. It's like getting an infection in your toe. If you never stand up, you never feel the infection. Eventually, the infection's so bad when you stand up, your leg breaks underneath your own weight, and you die. So see, we need to start caring about the questions that are answered and comparing them to the ones that are asked, and hold our politicians accountable about the ones they answer. Such as, President Obama, where's your birth certificate? Where is your long form birth certificate? Okay? Now, that's a topic that most people are going to get on fire about. See, I served in the military and I had to provide my long form birth certificate to get security clearance. So I see rationally that it's an intelligent question. He should have to provide it. I don't care that somebody in the state of Hawaii said, well, he provided a short form and he was born here and that was good enough. No, it's not. If I have to provide a long form birth certificate to get if I have to provide a long form birth certificate to get a security clearance, he's got his finger on the atomic trigger. Shouldn't he have to provide it too? But getting back to the point, answer the question that was asked, not the question that should have been asked. See, in that subject, we've been asking, or people around the nation have been asking, where's your long-form birth certificate? The answer back from the administration is, we provided the short form. It's over. End of conversation. That wasn't the answer to the question. The question is, where is it? Now, if you can't answer a question about something as simple as a document, are you really going to be expected to answer the question directly on another issue? Like, for instance, why do you believe that there needs to be indefinite incarceration, which is in direct violation of our founding principles of due process? The answer that comes back is always, well, we have to protect everybody from terrorism. Excuse me? why do you believe in indefinite incarceration and its violation of our due process rights? The question does not match the answer. The answer should match the question. See, being able to indefinitely detain somebody doesn't protect us from terrorism. It's not a deterrent. If I were a terrorist and I'm as radical as they're supposed to be, and I believe in 70 virgins that are going to come to my aid in the next life, and I'll be married to them all and my life will be blissful, I could give a crap less if you're going to keep me in prison for the rest of my life here on the planet, because I don't intend to survive. How is that a deterrent? It's not. What it is a precedent. Now, I made a comment in a video the other day that I didn't expect my door to be knocked on and be carted off to indefinite incarceration. Is that a real concern? If you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would have said not a shred, not even 1%. But sitting around and looking at the rhetoric that's gone on in the Hill, that when someone disagrees with somebody else, they're a racist, or they're a member of a right-wing conspiracy group, or a militia, or a birther, or these things, or if they mention the Constitution, then law enforcement, you should be looking at them because they're potential terrorists. That gets the law enforcement community looking at people as suspects. And as suspects, as citizens, we're supposed to have a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. But when you take due process out of the equation, no longer do we have to be proven guilty. A suspect is guilty and is able to be detained indefinitely because we suspect they may be an enemy combatant, or we suspect they may be a terrorist. Well, I suspect a lot of politicians are corrupt. I suspect that a lot of politicians can be immoral. I suspect a lot of politicians might actually even be human and therefore be fallible. Well, because I suspect them, does that mean we should incarcerate them? No. Because our country is founded on the premise of innocent until proven guilty. You have inalienable rights that no one can take away from you because they're God-given. You're born with them. However, while we allow our government to operate in the way it is right now without really concern of obeying the Constitution, the government is working beyond it. Therefore, we have no Constitution. So in essence, our Constitution is already dead because we're not telling them they need to abide by it. So, ask questions and demand your politicians answer the question that you asked. If they don't, keep asking it over and over and over and over again, much like the little kid in the back seat saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" It gets to be annoying. It gets to be frustrating. And when you frustrate somebody, they lose their cool and they slip. And the first words out of somebody's mouth when they're angry are often the truth. Politicians seem to never tell the truth because their truth is not scripted. In this series, I've been asking you to ask questions. I've been asking you to think. I've even asked you now to stand up. I've asked you to speak out, and we're showing you how to. Remember, a seeker of truth, a true seeker of truth, ask questions upon their path to finding truth. When you ask a question, get the answer to the question that you asked, and don't stop asking until you get it. It's your God-given right. Use it, because someone else paid for it. Wear your chain. God bless you.